Alright guys, in this one we get the exhaust done, we get the radiator done, cooling system, and we get the front end bolted back together. So stick around and see what we get done. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're working on the old Studebaker again, and we're going to put some exhaust on this thing. I've already got this other side partially done because I wanted to see if it was even going to work, and it is. So I've got this pipe welded up right here. I bought these header pipes. I'll give you the part number on those. And then I bought a kit off of Speedway Motors with just some straight pieces and some bends in it. So yeah, this is the header pipes I bought, which makes it universal block hugger. They're a 10010 FLT low-tech. I got those from AutoZone. They weren't bad. They were about $65 for the two of those, so it's going to make this a lot easier than me trying to weld a whole bunch of different pieces together to make those header pipes. Once I have those, it's pretty much a straight shot back. I got to go up where the frame bends up, or it'll hang down too low, but it's going to be no big deal to do this exhaust on this thing. It's pretty simple. Alright guys, so this is the header pipe here for this side. These come longer. It was about this long, about 4 or 5 inches longer. I've cut it to length to where I need it. And so I'm going to get this bolted up under there, and then we'll go figure out what we need to do with the rest of the exhaust coming back that way. So I'm just going to get this up under here. I'm going to get a couple bolts, a couple nuts started on this. Then I can rotate it where I need it. I can tack weld it into place and then pull it out and fully weld it around it. So yeah, I'm just working down in here, getting these started. Alright, so this will come down here, and this straight pipe will come back here. You can see the frame jogs up right here. So what I'm going to do, I don't know how you can see, but I'm going to cut this here. This will turn up, go back, muffler will sit right here, and then we'll just dump the exhaust out right in front of the rear wheels back there. Get it back as far as we can, and then we'll dump it under the bed. So that's the plan. I think it's going to work out good. This side's a lot simpler than the other side. That's why I did it first, because I wasn't even sure if I could fit a pipe through there. Over there, I thought, because of the brake booster and stuff, I thought I was going to have to cross it over and bring them both down this side, but I think there's enough room. I'm going to have to wrap the pipe in some header tape over there to heat shield that booster and stuff. I don't think it would need it, but I'm going to do it just in case. So anyway, I'm going to get this pipe cut right here. We got her all tacked together. Pull it out, that way we can weld all the way around it a lot easier than trying to do it with it in there. Alright guys, it's hard to record underneath there without it being on a lift, but this is where we're at. I got that all tacked together. I just got to weld those solid. I'll put it up underneath. Once I get it underneath, I'll roll under there with the camera and show it to you. But for now, we've got to get this thing welded up. Alright guys, so we're back on the Studebaker. I've got the exhaust done. I didn't show you welding everything underneath because it's so hard to get underneath there with the camera. But I'm going to crawl under there now on the creeper and show you the finished product with the exhaust. And I've done a couple other things too, so I'll bring you up to speed on those as well. Alright guys, so there's our exhaust. See, it comes up this way. Little bend in it here, or bring that muffler up. And then it's going to dump out right here in front of the axle. That independent rear end, I would like it to go behind the axle, but there's really no way to do it. Eventually I might turn it and bring it out here, depending on how loud it is, but I think it's going to be fine the way it is. See, the other side's just the same. It's done as well. So we got that all buttoned up there. It's all tight, and the exhaust is done. So now I'm going to bring you up to speed on a few other things that I've done that I haven't recorded because they were just small things and they were kind of tedious. Okay guys, so you can see up here we got the inner fenders painted. I also painted up underneath. I'll show you here. Underneath the fender wells, they were all rusty. I sanded them, rust treated them, and painted them. So these fenders are ready to go on. I also cleaned up the core support over here, so it's all ready to go on as well. Cleaned up and painted. So that's where we're at. That's the next thing we're going to do. Get the fenders bolted back on, get the front end put on, then we can get a cooling system done, and we'll be about ready to start wiring this thing up. Alright guys, so this might be just a little bit tricky. I'm going to try to do this by myself. I may fail, and then may have to wait for somebody to come home to help me, but I'm going to try. Okay? So stick around and see how this goes. Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to get this cross member welded in. I got the front end bolted together, so I've got to get that tacked in. Then we've got to take this core support back out so we can weld it in fully. And then we'll be ready to do radiator cooling, all that good stuff, so stick around. Alright guys, getting this welded in. You can't put it in there straight. I had to put these little plates to take up the gap there. So there's just no other way to do it, but I'll grind those off a bit, paint them. Nobody will see it. It'll look like it's meant to be there. So we're going to get that done. I got to take the core support out now so we can weld the back sides and the tops and the bottom, and then it'll be good to go. Alright guys, we've got the core support taken out, so I'm going to finish welding this in, and I'll show you when we get done. I'm not going to bore you with all the welding, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright guys, we got her all welded in. Looks pretty good. Not going to complain. There you go. Next thing we got to do, core support's going back in, and we'll be mounting the radiator and get the cooling system hooked up. Alright guys, so we got our core support back in. Now I'm working on this radiator to show you what we got. I'm going to do to it. So I've got these aren't wide enough to bolt in there, so I'm going to bolt these pieces of aluminum to this so that we can drill through here and bolt it to the core support. So that's what I'm working on right now. So that's where we're at. Alright guys, we got this bolted in. I got to put one more bolt in the middle here, put a bolt in there. But I think that's going to work. We'll have to have an AC condenser in front of it. So I checked with the grill on. The grill comes out, so it's going to have plenty of room back there to put everything we need to put. We've got about 2.5 inches from the engine there. We got space there. Everything should work out good. Alright guys, so radiator's in. I'm putting radiator hoses. I got these black ones because I thought I had enough chrome on here. And these come with like a bushing to figure out what size you need, all that good stuff. So if I got this one on the engine side put on, then I got to do the hard one, which is on the underneath. It's not really that hard. I just got to lay on my back to do it. So I thought I'd do this one first. Guys, so you might notice the radiator's out of this again. When I went to put the AC condenser in, I realized the radiator I had wasn't going to work because it stuck out too far. So I found a Studebaker radiator, well, one made for this that's aluminum. But the original Studebaker tank it came out here and the fill cap was here. This new one, it's not, it's in the middle. So I had to cut this out. What I'm going to do is once I'm done, I'll run a bar from here to there to strengthen this back up. I welded this in here, which is helping. It's strengthened it a ton, and I don't see it being a problem, especially if I put a bar across there. But I had to put the other radiator in because the condenser for the AC wasn't going to fit, and so now it will. I was frustrated at the time, so I didn't video any of this. So I'm just explaining to you what I've done. I had to weld these on here. I put these nut certs in here to screw the radiator to, or to bolt it in, not screw it. We're going to bolt it in. And then I welded this up and smoothed it all off. So now what I'm going to do is I've got to get this cleaned up, I've got to get it painted, and then it'll be ready for the radiator and the AC system to go in. So that's where we're at, bringing you up to speed. I'll show you the new radiator once we get that in, but I'm going to get this cleaned up and then we're going to get it painted. Alright guys, I got this all wiped down. Spray it with a little bit of primer on the bare metal, then we'll come back and touch it up with the black. Alright, we'll let that dry and then we'll touch it up with some black. Alright, we're going to let that dry. We'll be ready for a radiator here. Probably put one more coat on it after this and we'll get the radiator put in. Alright guys, so this right here is the battery box I've chosen to use. We're going to mount it right here, and it's going to be mounted on the frame underneath here. It's going to be kind of hard for me to video it, so I think what I'm going to do, I'll get this mounted up, then I'll take the camera under there and show you what I did so that you can see where I put in the battery and what's going on with it. Alright guys, this is where I ended up putting the battery. It's between the bed and the frame. You can see here. Have these two cables running down. Of course I got this end taped up right now. What I'm going to do is down here on the frame, I'll put a couple posts where you could jump it if you needed to, or charge the battery, because I know that'll be hard to get to. But I like the battery being back here, because then it's less clutter under the hood. It's not going to be a show truck per se, but I will take it to some shows, and you know, the cleaner it is under the hood, I think the better it looks. So we're going to go with that, and this is just a good place for it. It's out of the way. Alright, we're gonna get back up there probably tomorrow when that paint dries and put that radiator back in, but for now we're gonna go to bed. Alright guys, this radiator, we got to put this condenser here for the AC, which is what started this whole process of different radiator. So I'm going to see what it's going to take. It looks like we may need to move one of these in. Thinking we need to move this one in maybe one notch to get it to line up over here. So yeah, I got this bracket. It doesn't match up perfect with this radiator. This radiator is just the closest I could find to the original. Actually, this needs to go this way. Okay. Alright, so we're going to get this bolted on here. Just say I'm going to have to unbolt these and move this bracket one over. So that's where we're going to start. Alright guys, so we've got to get our transmission cooler mounted. I made these two brackets. I'm just going to weld those right to there. And then I'll build a bracket for the top of it here. We're going to get that welded up. Alright, so now I gotta grab that grill. I checked it and measured it to make sure it was clear, but I just want to double check before I build this top mount. Make sure we're good. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, we got tons of room down there. I'll let you take a look. Maybe if you can see. Yeah, we've got plenty of room between the grill down here. How well you can see it. We've got a couple inches. Okay, I'm gonna pull this grill back off and then we'll get the top mount made for that. Alright guys, so this is the plan. We got this across here. I'm gonna cut this off about 1/2 inch right there. Then these will go on the ends. I'll weld a piece on the end here, like that. And then I'll weld a little tab coming up or down, put a bolt through it. All it's got to do is steady this. I'm just nervous that if I just left the bottom over time it would break it or crack it, so it's just got to hold it steady. It's not really holding any weight or anything. Alright guys, I got a little tight because I had to shut the garage door because it was getting cold, so I just went ahead and welded this up. I'm going to cut these corners off on an angle, and then I'm going to grind these welds out so it's all smooth on the top. And yeah, I think it's going to work. Alright guys, update for you. So I built that entire other bracket just to figure out if it's going to work. So this is what I've come up with. So this is going to come here, and then I'll put a couple holes here and just bolt it through this bottom bracket down here, and that'll keep that from moving. I'm going to take this, I've marked it, I'm going to drill holes through here. I don't know that it's going to make much difference, but at least then we'll get a little bit of airflow through there. It's not just like a big block sitting up there. So anyway, that's what I had to do. I spent half the night building a bracket that wouldn't work, but at least I still was able to use this top piece. Just wanted to update you. When we come back, we're going to drill holes in this, get it bolted on, and we'll pull it all off and paint it. And we'll be ready to put AC on. That other one, the AC lines were there right here. You can see, just weren't going to work. I had to figure something else out. So hopefully this will work. I am going to have to cut the top of the grill just a little bit to clear that AC dryer. But it is what it is, you know. Didn't want to. I did not want to cut it. I don't want to cut it, but I see no other option unless I want to do some major fab work with lines, and I really don't want to do that. So anyway, we'll see you next time. I'm gonna go to bed. Alright guys, I got the day off today, so I'm gonna work on this Studebaker, hopefully get this air conditioning pretty much taken care of, because then we'll be ready about, I think I only have a couple little things left to do, then we'll be moving on to the wiring, so we're going to get that done. So next thing I got to do, this here, just to make this transmission bracket look a little better and not be an airflow restriction, I'm going to drill some holes in this. Hopefully that'll help. That'll make it look a little better anyway, even if it doesn't help with the airflow. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright guys, so after a bunch of drilling, that's what we ended up with. I think it looks pretty good. We're going to get it mounted up. I probably won't show you me mounting it because I have to keep my door shut today because it's like 26 degrees outside and I got my diesel heater running over there. Keep me a little bit warm. So I'm going to get this mounted up and then I'll show you the finished product over there when I'm done. Alright guys, that's how it ended up. I'm real happy with it. I think it looks nice. I just got to get it painted. I'm going to pull it off there and paint it. In the meantime, I'll start hooking these AC lines up. Get those all set up. I'm going to have to notch the top of the grill, but you don't see it from the outside to clear that AC dryer there. But it is what it is, you know. You got to do things for comfort. So anyway, I'm going to get that off and get it painted, and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, guys, so we're making some good progress on this thing. We're going to keep heading forward. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.